Level 1. The lookout. The plaza boss needs eyes everywhere. That's you. You're 15, sitting on a plastic chair outside a convenience store in Culiacan. You have a phone, a Coke, and one job. Watch the road. If you see military trucks, you text a bird. If you see black SUVs with tinted windows, you text a snake. That means rival cartel. You're paid $100 a week. Cash. No questions. The other guys don't talk to you. You're furniture. But you're learning. You see how the system works. The police drive by twice a day. They wave. They're on payroll. The real threat is the Marines. They can't be bought. One day, a convoy rolls through. You freeze. You forgot to send a warning. 30 seconds later, your phone explodes with messages. Where were you? You asleep? A man appears next to you. He doesn't yell. He just looks at you. Next time, we bury you in the desert. You don't forget again. Level 2. The transporter. You're 18. A man approaches you at a gas station. You know how to drive? Of course you do. Good. Tomorrow, 6 a.m. Warehouse on the south side. You show up. There's a white semi-truck. The cargo area is loaded with watermelons. Hundreds of them. Underneath the watermelons, welded into the floor, are 500 kilograms of methamphetamine. Your route? Sinaloa to Tijuana. 8 hours. If you get stopped, you go into prison for 20 years. If you make it, you get 3,000. You drive. Every time you see headlights in the mirror, your stomach drops. But you make it. You park at a warehouse. Men unload the truck. One of them hands you an envelope. You've never held this much money in your life. You do it again next week. And the week after. You're making more in a month than your father made in a year before the cartel killed him for refusing to sell his land. Your work becomes routine. You stop being scared. That's when people get sloppy. That's when they get caught. Your cousin gets arrested at a checkpoint. He's 15 years in Altiplanto. Your cartel doesn't send lawyers. They just find a new driver. Level 3. The collector. You've been driving for 2 years. No arrests. No accidents. You've proven you're reliable. Now they give you a gun and a list of addresses. You're a collector. Business owners in the plaza pay a monthly tax. It's not optional. A taco stand pays $500. A pharmacy pays $2,000. A nightclub pays $10,000. You go door to door. You collect the envelopes. Most people pay without issue. They know the rules. But there's always someone who thinks they're smart. A restaurant owner tells you he can't pay this month. Business is slow. You nod. You leave. You come back that night with 2 other guys. You smash every window. You break every table. You beat the owner unconscious in his own kitchen. The next month, he pays double. You're making $1,500 a week. You buy a used BMW. You buy your mom a new house. She doesn't ask where the money comes from. She just cries and hugs you. But you're also now a target. Rival cartels want your territory. The government wants to make examples. Every time you collect, you're exposed. Level 4. The cell leader. You're 25. You run a cell. 10 men. Your job is simple. Move product and protect territory. The cartel supplies you with 100 kilos of cocaine every month. You break it down, you sell it to distributors, you send the money up the chain. You keep 10%. That's $50,000 to $100,000 a month in your pocket. You're also responsible for security. If CJNJ decides to try to move into your plaza, you respond with violence. You don't wait for orders, you handle it. A rival crew kills one of your lookouts, you find where they operate. You send 6 guys with AK-47s. They walk into a bar and open fire, then 12 people die. 5 of them were civilians. It makes the news. The government promises justice, but the governor is on payroll. Nothing happens. You're living well. You have a house with a pool. You have a girlfriend who thinks you own a construction company. You have respect. But you're also managing chaos. Your men are young and stupid. They get high on their own supply. They start fights. They attract attention. You have to discipline them. Sometimes that means a beating. Sometimes that just means a bullet. And the pressure from above is constant. The regional boss wants more money. Always more. If you don't deliver, you're replaced. And replacement is permanent. Level 5. The regional operator. You control a city now. Maybe it's Reynosa or Nuevo Laredo. You have 5 cell leaders reporting to you. You manage the supply, the distribution, and the violence. Your meetings are in a safe house that change every week. You arrive in armored SUVs, you have bodyguards, you carry a gold-plated pistol you've never actually fired. Your job is to think strategically. The plaza boss wants to expand into a neighborhood state. You plan the operation, you identify the weak points in the rival cartel's territory, you bribe local police to stand down, you coordinate the assault. 30 of your men roll into the town at 3 a.m. They kill the rival cell leader and his crew. They hang bodies from a bridge with a message, "This plaza belongs to Sinaloa." You also manage the money. Millions of dollars flow through your hands every month. You can't deposit in the bank. You launder it. You buy restaurants, car washes, construction companies, legitimate businesses that hide illegal profits. You're making $200,000 a month. You have properties in 3 states. You have a wife and kids who live separately from your work life. You'll tell them you're an import/export guy. They don't ask questions, but the walls are closing in. The DEA has your phone tapped. You know this because your lawyer told you, so you communicate through messengers. You meet in person, you speak in code. You're also fighting a two-front war. The government wants you arrested, rival cartels want you dead, and ambitious men in your own organization want your position. You sleep 4 hours a night. You trust no one completely, not even your brother. Level 6. The Plaza Boss. You run the state. Every drug shipment, every murder, every bribe goes through you. You have 500 men working under you. You generate $20 million a month for the cartel, but you're a ghost. The public doesn't know your face. You don't do interviews. You don't appear in photos. You live in a compound in the mountains, 20-foot walls, armed guards, attack dogs. Your work is politics. You negotiate with other cartels to avoid unnecessary wars. You meet with governors and generals. You don't threaten them, you make them offers. A suitcase with $2 million, a share of the profits, a piece of the empire. Most of them take it. The ones who don't, they get exposed. Photos of them with mistresses, evidence of corruption. Their careers are destroyed, and if they still refuse, they disappear. You're also a CEO. You manage logistics on a massive scale, cocaine from Colombia, precursor chemicals from China, marijuana from the mountains, heroin from poppy fields. You coordinate shipments across continents. You manage tunnels under the border. You manage submarines. You manage drones. You're making $1 million a month personally, but money's just a number on a screen. You have everything you could want and nothing you actually need. You can't go to your daughter's quinceañera, that's too dangerous. You can't visit your mother's grave, snipers might be waiting. You live in a golden cage, and the paranoia is eating you alive. Your head of security might be working for the DEA. Your accountant might be skimming. Your right-hand man might be planning a coup. You execute 2 of your men based off suspicion alone. Better be safe than sorry. Level 7. The cartel leader. You built this. Maybe you inherited it from your father or your uncle. Maybe you killed your way to the top. Either way, you're the boss now. Your organization moves 100 tons of cocaine a year. You have cells in 15 countries. You have politicians in 6 states under your control. You're worth $3 billion. But your name is on every wanted list in the world. The US has 10 million bounty on you. The Mexican government has special forces hunting you. You move between safe houses every 3 days. You communicate through encrypted messages that are destroyed after being read. You've had plastic surgery twice. Your own children don't even recognize you. You meet with the leaders of other cartels. You divide Mexico like a business deal. You get Sinaloa and Sonora. They get Tamaulipas and Veracruz. Everyone makes money. Everyone stays alive, but it never lasts. Someone always gets greedy. War breaks out. Hundreds die. Towns become battlefields. And you can't stop. If you try to retire, your own people will kill you. You know too much. You're too dangerous to be left alive. You're the most powerful criminal in the Western Hemisphere. You're also the most hunted man on Earth. Level 8. Supermax. They got you. Maybe it was a raid, maybe it was a betrayal, but you're in the cell of ADX Florence, Colorado. 23 hours a day in isolation, concrete walls, steel door, no windows. You'll die here. There's no escape, no bribe works, no army can break you out. El Chapo tried twice. He's in the cell next to yours now. You had billions, you had an empire. Now you have 4 concrete walls and the rest of your life to think about every person you killed to get there. Level 9. The successor. But the cartel doesn't die with you. Your nephew takes over, or your son, or your lieutenant. Someone always steps up. The drugs keep flowing, the money keeps moving, the bodies keep piling up. The cycle never ends. You were the king, now you're a legend. A cautionary tale, a ghost story that parents tell their kids. This is what happens when you get too greedy, when you think you're untouchable. But there's always another kid in Culiacan, sitting outside a convenience store, watching the road, waiting for his chance. This is the cartel, not a gang, a business. A billion-dollar empire built